The James Webb Space Observatory has just shocked scientists with its first findings. It's not what they were expecting at all. The data is so amazing that it defies explanation. Keep watching to find out more about this incredible new telescope. Near the end of July, the very first scientific images from the James Webb Space Observatory were released to the public. These included a cluster of galaxies, a southern ring, a nebula, an exoplanet, and a star called WASP-39b. All of these images have shocked astronomers. But the one that really got them was the last one. It was the WASP-39b exoplanet that really took their breath away. Why did the image of this very faraway planet shock astronomers? Astronomers had never seen the atmosphere of a planet outside our solar system before. That's right. James Webb Space Telescope was able to look at the atmosphere of a planet in another solar system for the first time ever. And it totally blew the minds of astronomers. In order to do this, the telescope had to filter through light coming from a star. The light from a star can be filtered through by the atmosphere of a planet passing in front of it, allowing us to see the makeup of the atmosphere of the planet. This can tell us lots of things about the planet itself, such as if it is similar to Earth or not. Such discoveries will help scientists predict whether or not a planet could be habitable. If there are planets out there that could support life, we want to know so that we can travel there one day. Scientists believe that the planet WASP-39b could be similar to Earth, so they were hopeful that they would be able to discover some useful information about it. But they never expected the discovery that they made. Here is what we know about the planet WASP-39b. WASP-39b is a very hot gas giant. It is around 700 light-years away from us. It is around 11 times the size of Jupiter. And it orbits around an orange dwarf star, which is around 700 light-years away from us. The star is slightly smaller than our Sun. This exoplanet was discovered back in 2008, but it was until 2021 that NASA's James Webb Space Telescope was able to analyze its atmosphere. Before the James Webb Space Telescope, astronomers had been analyzing the atmospheres of planets that were much bigger than Earth and much closer to us. For example, they had been studying Saturn's largest moon, Titan. However, this is not particularly helpful to us because Titan isn't similar to Earth. Another thing that astronomers did was study the atmospheres of planets inside our solar system. They studied Venus and Mars. This gave them a point of comparison for what to expect when analyzing the atmosphere of WASP-39b. But they still weren't prepared for what the James Webb Space Telescope found. The James Webb Space Telescope was able to observe 4 different parts of the light spectrum from this distant star, and this allowed the scientists to determine which part of the light spectrum was being blocked by the planet's atmosphere. This told them which part of the light spectrum was being absorbed by certain elements. When light gets absorbed, it means that the element that absorbed it is present. WASP-39b has an atmosphere that is mainly made up of hydrogen and helium. This is similar to the composition of Jupiter's atmosphere. Scientists also notice carbon dioxide in the atmosphere of WASP-39b, and they even think that there might be water vapor in the atmosphere as well. Now, it's important to note that scientists aren't entirely sure about the presence of water vapor. They only have tentative evidence. However, the next time WASP-39b passes in front of its star, the James Webb Space Telescope will be able to gather more data. And this data should allow scientists to confirm whether or not there is water vapor in the atmosphere of this exoplanet. If there's water vapor, then there could be clouds too. Water vapor and clouds would mean that there could be rain on this planet. If there's rain, then there could be oceans. And if there are oceans, then there could be life. Of course, this is all speculation, but it's very exciting speculation. Scientists think that the swings in temperature on WASP-39b from extreme heat during the day to extreme cold at night could be causing rain at certain points on the planet. We know that it rains on Venus, and Venus is very similar to WASP-39b. Venus doesn't have any ice at the North Pole like Earth does, but it does have sulfuric acid rain. If WASP-39b has clouds and rain, it would be the only planet that we know of outside of Earth that has rain. Obviously, the fact that it rains on WASP-39b doesn't mean that there is life there, but it does mean that there could be life there. Now, there is still so much that scientists don't know about this exoplanet. They don't know how big the planet is. They don't know what the pressure is like on the planet. They don't know if it has a solid surface. They don't know if it has any moons. There is so much that we don't know, but it's exciting to imagine what we might find out. This isn't the only discovery that the James Webb Space Observatory made while looking at this exoplanet. The observatory also discovered that WASP-39b has an extremely strong magnetic field. The magnetic field is around 1,000 times stronger than Earth's magnetic field. It is also whipping around the planet at speeds of around 18,000 miles per hour. Now, we don't know why the magnetic field is so strong, but scientists think that it could have something to do with the planet's extremely fast rotation. The planet rotates on its axis incredibly quickly, completing a full rotation in just 11 days. The fast rotation could be the cause of the strong magnetic field, or it could be the other way around. The strong magnetic field could be slowing down the planet's rotation over time. Whatever the case may be, scientists are glad to have discovered this information, and here's why. It's not just the magnetic field that's interesting, it's where the magnetic field lines are going. The magnetic field lines of WASP-39b are escaping the planet and extending outwards into space. This is completely opposite to what is happening on Earth. On Earth, the magnetic field lines come out of the North Pole and go into the South Pole. Scientists don't understand how the magnetic field lines are escaping the planet. It goes against everything that we know about magnetic fields. To make things even more bizarre, the magnetic field lines are interacting with the solar wind. The solar wind is a stream of charged particles that comes from the sun. The fact that the magnetic field lines of WASP-39b are interacting with the solar wind means that there is probably an aurora at the planet's north pole. Auroras happen on Earth as well. They happen when charged particles interact with our magnetic field lines. As you can see, there is so much that we do want to know about this planet, and the James Webb Space Telescope is going to help us learn all about it. This technology is truly remarkable. Let's take a moment to appreciate what this telescope is and what it can do. The James Webb Space Telescope is the largest and most powerful space research observatory ever put into space. It was launched on Christmas Day in 2021. It took 6 months for the telescope to reach its final destination, at Lagrange Point 2. This is around 1.5 million kilometers away from Earth. At this point, the telescope will orbit the Sun in synchronicity with the Earth. This means that the Earth's atmosphere will always be between the Earth and the telescope. This keeps the telescope nice and cool. It also means that the Earth's shadow will always be falling on the side of the telescope that faces away from the Sun. This keeps the telescope protected from the Sun's light and heat. The James Webb Space Telescope is so advanced that it was built in a massive hangar at Northrop Grumman's facility in Redondo Beach, California. The telescope was simply too big to fit inside of a rocket. So the engineers had to build the telescope in segments that could fit inside of the rocket, and then they assembled it in space. The telescope is made up of 9 different parts, and none of them had ever been assembled in space before. The telescope has 344 single-point failure items. A single-point failure item is a component that if it were to fail, the whole mission would be doomed. This makes the James Webb Space Telescope one of the most complex machines ever built by man. Out of all of the components of this telescope, the most important is the primary mirror. The primary mirror is made up of 18 smaller hexagons. Each hexagon is made out of a metal called beryllium. Beryllium is lightweight yet extremely strong. The primary mirror is gold-plated. The gold helps the telescope reflect infrared light. Infrared light is what the James Webb Space Telescope will be mainly detecting. Gold is great at reflecting infrared light. The primary mirror is also adjustable. Each segment of the mirror can move independently. This allows the telescope to aim itself. The segments can be moved around very precisely using motors and actuators. Thanks to this incredible new telescope, we can now explore space like we never have before. Can see further back in time than any other telescope. This is because light takes time to travel. Light from very distant stars and galaxies has taken millions, even billions of years to reach us. The James Webb Space Telescope will be able to detect this light, and we will finally be able to see what the universe looked like millions of years ago. This will help us better understand the universe today and where it is heading in the future. Now, what do you think of the James Webb Space Observatory? Do you think that it will make some groundbreaking discoveries? Let us know your thoughts. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos like this one.